welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your girl Fideline, and please, if you are watching me for the first time, please just hit the subscribe button, you hit the notification button, you share, you like, you comment. And for my old subscriber, I just want to say thank you for encouraging me. So today's story time is all about how I was declared missing at the age of 8. That should be many years ago, like 26 years ago. So while in the course of the beginning of this month, it came back to me because my first child just turned 8 yesterday. So on her birthday, I was reflecting, and the story of my age when I was 8 came back to me like it happened yesterday. I look at my child, I say, so I was this young when I was declared missing. It means I was very smart, I was very bold to come out of it. And for those who know me very well, I'm somebody that I'm very outspoken. I don't keep my feelings. I wear my feelings on my sleeve. Once there is something, I say it as it is, and I say it as fast as I can. I don't know how to keep things in my mind. So it has helped me a lot in my life. Throughout my life journey, that has always been my secret weapon. If you are a commissioner with 20s, if I have something to tell you, I will tell you in a very polite way. I am naturally bold person. So what's happened? This is a story that I really like to share, and maybe when my kids grow up one day, I will tell them. What happened? My mother told me when I was 8 years old, my father decided that I was going to live with my auntie in Douala. And you know, the marriage in the previous marriage, the marriage in before, when your father says something, that is the final. Your mother don't have anything to say. She will just accept and follow the train. So I remember very well that afternoon, my auntie came in from Douala with the husband. By then they had, I think, 4 kids already. 4, yeah. They had 3 kids already, a twin and a single child. So they came to the house to spend the weekend. So my father told me that I'm going to my auntie for holiday, but I knew, the way they were saying it, I knew I was not going to come back. So my mother had to pack my thing in a little black bag, and I was wearing a dress. Like in those days, we used to call it cocoa rosin, the step dress. So I remember when I was entering the car, my mother was feeling so sad, but she could not say anything, and I was not happy. Where was I going at the very young age to Douala to go and do what? But I could not ask anything because my father had said so. I remember entering the car, my mother was just looking at me. She was so miserable. She was not happy, but she could not say anything. So they drive all the way to Douala. I think it was Bonaberry. So when we arrived in Bonaberry, they were living in an apartment, and so we went in. They showed me my room. I think I was sharing the room with one of the youngest child. Then my auntie now, I think she's of late now. Of best memory, she was not wicked, but she was very wild and strict. Though she was so disciplined that she beat you at anything. It was not only me, even her kids. So she was, everybody was scared of her. I got to that house. Before I could even ask where should I keep my things, she started shouting. My God. She'll wake up in the morning because she was roasting fish at the junction. I don't know. So she'll wake up in the morning. Before I even wake up, I will not see her. She have arranged the things. So I will help her in the night and arrange them. 8 years old. Then in the morning by 5 a.m., 6 a.m., she'll go and buy stuff from the market. Then she'll come back, prepare everything. And the evening by 5 in the evening, she's gone. I will have to take care of the twin and the single child, 3 kids at 8 years old. See, the husband was there, but I don't know if he was working out of Douala. He will come the weekend. I don't know. My brothers and sisters, when that woman come back at night, if there's anything that did not go well, let me see the water on the floor. That woman will beat me blue, green, yellow. She will beat the hell out of me. And I was so confused because at that age, my mother have never beaten me, my father have never beaten me, my parents have never beaten me in their life since I was born to this age. They only talk, but to use their hand on me, they have never. That woman would beat me. I would not even understand why she was beating me, but what would I cry to? My mother is not, my father is not. So sometimes I will go to neighbors, I will cry there, but they don't know what to do. One fateful day, the incidents are so many, but what really made me to escape, one fateful morning, she told me to do something in the kitchen. It's like I was just 8. What can I do in the kitchen to take and taking care of 3 children? I said, sister, please, I cannot do it. The woman, she used a mortar pestle. You know this thing they used to pound fufu. She hit it on my head. Within the space of 30 minutes, my head got swollen like this. My front head got swollen like this. My eyes were red, and she left. I said to myself, "Idile cannot continue like this. Your mother is there, she's taking care of you, she has never beaten you before. How are you going to cope? Just 1 week, I think 2 weeks, and you have gone through all this. Then if you want to leave, it means you are going to die." In the morning when the children they urinate on the bed, I will have to carry the mattress and put it outside. You can imagine 8 years old, a big mattress. I will be dragging it to put it outside. But she was never satisfied. So I decided that I'm going to escape to where I don't know. I said that I was going to escape because there's no way I will sit in this house. I don't want Duma going to kill me. When I have a beautiful home, I have my mother that loves me, my father that loves me, and come and die in another person's house. 8 years old. So when she left, what did I do? I went to her room. I saw 300 francs. When I saw the 300 francs, I took the money. I put it in I took my bag. In fact, I left the kids with the neighbor. I told her that I'm going to buy something. My brothers and sisters, Bonaberry, Douala at the age of 8. I don't know what I don't know if it's an angel that took me along. And mind you, before I continue, I left from Kumba to Douala. I know before you leave from Kumba to Douala, there are a lot of cities you have to pass, those small villages. But the only road I knew then was the train road, because my mother, their home is in Banga. So I know if you are leaving from Douala to Banga, you can go with train, and from Banga to Kumba, you can still go with another train. And we're going on. My mother used to take us a lot to Banga, so I already had the idea that if I can reach Banga, I can go to Kumba. That is 8 years old. I took that money. I went to I saw a taxi. I just told the taxi, "Please, I'm going to Ga." She said, the man asked me, "Which Ga are you going to?" I said, "Ga where I can get train." He said, "Are you traveling?" I said, "No, I want to go and see somebody." I asked the person that train, "Can you take me to Kumba?" The man said, "No, I have to go to Mbanga. You can take me to Kumba, yes, but it will reach very late. If I don't want to go arrive Kumba very late, I can drop in Banga, sleep in Banga, then I continue to Kumba." I said, "Merci beaucoup, monsieur. Thank you very much." That's what I told him. That man showed me at the Bonaberry guy. You know, I was very little. I will not pay train. So people, and in Cameroon, they don't care who you are with. There's nothing like minor, major, la 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 la. You a survivor of the fittest. I saw a train. I just hopped into the train. I asked one lady, "Madam, is this train going to Kumba?" She said yes. I just took my small bag and my cocoa rosin dress. I just sat. I was just looking. We left Douala like very late, and before we arrived Banga, it was already like midnight. I said, "No, I cannot continue like this before I reach Kumba." So we arrived Banga maybe almost like midnight. I could not continue the journey. So I said I would sleep in Banga. Remind you that when all this thing was happening, they later told me that when my auntie came to the house and she could not find me, she called Kumba, that I'm nowhere to be found, that they have searched everywhere in Douala, they can't find me. So my parents have to hurry and do something, because they have gone to the guard, they have gone anywhere. I'm not there. Immediately, my father, my uncles, my aunties, my sisters, my brothers, they went outside. My father went to the police. I was declared missing. They went to the radio in Boya. They went everywhere they could go. I was declared missing. So my name was on the radio 24 hours, sounding, describing me. When I arrived Banga that night, My grandparents live in Banga, but I was very young. I know there was a straight road that was leading me to the house, but I could not remember. I will go like 5 minutes, I will come back. I know, so my mother used to pass this road. I could not remember. So on passing that road the second time, I heard the woman speaking my native language. I went to meet them. I told the woman, where I'm coming from Dada, this is what happened. I want to go and see my grandparents, but I don't know. I cannot remember very well where they live. They asked me, how old are you? I say 8 years old. My brothers and sisters, that woman told me that I should not bother. Since I said I'm going to Kumba, she'll keep me in her house, and in the morning I will take the early morning train. Woman gave me a bed, she gave me food, but I could not eat because you know that type of thing your parents will tell you, if anybody gives you food, don't eat. They might poison the food. I told that woman I'm not hungry. Meanwhile, I'm not eating since morning. And she said, you're not hungry? I said, yes. That woman gave me a place to sleep. She told me I took my bath. I slept in the morning. She wake me up. She told me that that is the train that is going to Kumba. My brothers and sisters, when I grew up, I went to that same area. I could not remember the woman. I wanted to really appreciate that woman for what she did to me, because she would have even killed me or do something to me miserable that nobody would even know. But she kept me in her house. In the morning, she took me to the station and told me to. And so we arrived Banga, maybe almost like midnight. I could not continue the journey. So I said I was sleeping in Banga. Remind you that when all this thing was happening, they later told me that when my auntie came to the house and she could not find me, she called Kumba, that I'm nowhere to be found, that they have searched everywhere in Douala, they can't find me. So my parents have to hurry and do something, because they have gone to the guard, they have gone anywhere. I'm not there. Immediately, my father, my uncles, my aunties, my sisters, my brothers, they went outside. My father went to the police. I was declared missing. They went to the radio in Boya. They went everywhere they could go. I was declared missing. So my name was on the radio 24 hours, sounding, describing me. When I arrived Banga that night, my grandparents lived in Banga, but I was very young. I know there was a straight road that was leading me to the house, but I could not remember. I will go like 5 minutes, I will come back. I know, so my mother used to pass this road. I could not remember. So on passing that road the second time, I heard the woman speaking my native language. I went to meet them. I told the woman, where I'm coming from Dada, this is what happened. I want to go and see my grandparents, but I don't know. I cannot remember very well where they live. They asked me, how old are you? I say 8 years old. My brothers and sisters, that woman told me that I should not bother. Since I said I'm going to Kumba, she'll keep me in her house, and in the morning I will take the early morning train. Woman gave me a bed, she gave me food, but I could not eat because you know that type of thing your parents will tell you, if anybody gives you food, don't eat. They might poison the food. I told that woman I'm not hungry. Meanwhile, I'm not eating since morning. And she said, you're not hungry? I said, yes. That woman gave me a place to sleep. She told me I took my bath. I slept in the morning. She wake me up. She told me that that is the train that is going to Kumba. My brothers and sisters, when I grew up, I went to that same area. I could not remember the woman. I wanted to really appreciate that woman for what she did to me, because she would have even killed me or do something to me miserable that nobody would even know. But she kept me in her house. In the morning, she took me to the train station and told me to go to Kumba and told me safe journey. So I really appreciate that woman. I've tried everything. Even when I grew up, I went there, I could not find her. Upon going to Kumba, I arrived the train station in Kumba, the train station at 3 corners. My brothers and sisters, as I put my leg on the ground, you know, in those days, radio, people were listening more to radios. Oh yeah, there's a child that is carrying a black bag. She's 8 years old. She got missing in Bonaberi Douala. If you see her, I was like, her name is Fideline Kamani. She's schooling at STS. She's class 4. I said, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? I just continue my journey. It's like I don't know if they were talking about me or another Fideline. I took the road that I know. I saw my elder sister. She was, I think, in Form 1 then at St. Francis. When she saw me, she crossed the road. She came and hugged me. She was crying. Her eyes were swollen like this. My brothers and sister. My sister told me that I've been declaring this since yesterday, that the whole family is outside. My parents have gone to Bafusam, Yaounde, that they look for me. I told them, no, I'm not missing. No, I slept in Banga, so now I'm going to the house. She was like, she was happy, she hugged me, she was crying. When I arrived the house, it's like somebody was there that already opened the doors, the window. The whole of my street was mad. People were crying, people were sitting on the floor, people were confused. When I came, everybody was looking at me like this. They were like, Fideline, I know the one that we are looking for. I said, what happened? They said, no, my auntie called that I'm missing, that they cannot find me anywhere in Douala. So we had to declare you missing because we don't know what will happen to you. My mother, when she saw me, my father, when they saw me, my mother, she could not say anything. She was just speechless. She have cried. She have done everything she could. And then my little sister, she was still a baby, still breastfeeding. They had mixed feelings. They should be happy, they should be angry with my aunt, they should be, because within 2 days they have done everything they could. So when I arrived home, it was like a party. Everybody was happy. People were coming to embrace me. I was like a little star in my head. People were coming to embrace me. They were telling people, we have seen Fideline, we have seen Fideline. Even after that day, the following day, when I went out of the street, people were like, is it not the girl that we were saying that she got missing? People were just hugging me on the street. Even after I came back, the graduates still continued to announce. My father, if he called that, no, we have seen our daughter. They said, oh, thank God. So that story is something that I will never forget, because it was really a shock to so many people and to me too, because I did not know that they value me that much, and I didn't even know that people were looking for me like that, because in my mind I was like, why am I sharing this story? Because I want to pass a message that, please, if you are a parent that have a young child, a minor, please, I know it's not easy. Sometimes we need families to help us to raise our children. But sending your child to another person at a very young age, it can destroy that child's life. Because the moral torture that child will go through will follow her or him for the rest of their life. It's very important. I prefer, if you are watching it, if you have a child that is very young, you better soak gari and eat with your child. I know your child is peaceful. She's growing up morally okay, than sending your child to live in a mansion where in that mansion she will know no peace, she will know nothing. Please, parents, we should be very careful. There are a lot of things going on when you send your kids to live with relatives. I don't care if it's your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle. When we have our kids, we should try as much as possible to raise them by ourselves. It might be difficult, but it's worth it. It's worth it. We manage whatever we have. We manage it. If they cannot go to school, there's a government school that we can. We that is very cheap. We should avoid sending our kids to families, because that thing would have cost my life. Within just the space of 1 week, I went through a lot. That till today I still remember. Imagine I've lived there till the age of 18. Maybe my life would have been destroyed by now. I might have had that courage to run at that early age, but not so many kids who have the courage. At age 11, what do you even know? But God gave me that wisdom. I don't know why God did it, but I could remember I was doing a lot of things at a very tender age. And maybe I can say God saved my life, because living at that home to the age of 18 would have been something devastating. Seriously. So please, if you're a parent watching the video, keep your children with you. Keep your children with you. There is never enough. Nobody can be richer to the person don't need money. You manage what you have and raise your kids by yourself. So please, this is the end of the video. Please, thank you very much. Please, if you watch this video and you find it interesting and educative, please you share, you subscribe, you like. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you next week. Bye.